Hello to all the Taurus people out there. How are you doing? Hello and welcome to this monthly horoscope for September of 2012 for the sign of Taurus. Now, of course, this is a general horoscope, and in general horoscopes it's nice when there is a lot happening, because during July and August there was a lot to talk about, and especially with the Pluto-Uranus transit, because it was always triggered by a faster planet. I talked about that in the monthly horoscopes of July and August. But now I was looking at the general chart and I was a bit worried because there wasn't that much happening anymore during the month of September. Now, does that mean to say that there's not going to happen a lot for you? No, because of course when you watch a personal chart it's completely different, because you can have specific points, you can have specific planets and other transits that are aspecting that planet. So, but in general there is something going on, and I thought about that this morning. I saw that there is a hidden dance going on between Saturn and Neptune. But I'm going to talk about that in a minute. First, I'm going to take a look very much in general what's going on for Taurus. So I'm going to look more at the faster planets now, because the slow planets like Neptune and Pluto and Uranus, it's all the same story. It's quite the same story as July and August. So I can't really add anything more. But what is happening with the faster planets? So there is good stuff going on at the moment, because first of all, let's talk about your ruler. Your ruler Venus is for approximately the whole month. It's in Leo, so it's a bit in Cancer and then in Leo, and Leo for you is your first, second, third, fourth house. So there is this Venus in your fourth house, which is nice, which is because it's your ruler, it's important, and it's in the sign of the heart, and it's at the deepest core of the heart because it's the fourth house. So anything that has to do with your home, anything that has to do with your core is highlighted, and you can do good stuff about your house, about your core, about your roots, getting in touch again with your family, with the male line, maybe with your grandparents from father's side, or and that is good for you. So that's one thing. The other thing that is going on is that Mercury is going very fast this month, during the month of September, and that is in your fifth house, and because it's in Virgo, and it's a fellow earth sign. So Mercury is so fast, it's going through 3 signs actually in September. So at the end of Leo, and then it's in its own sign in Virgo, so it's exalted there, it's doing good stuff there, and then it goes to Libra, which is your seventh house. But I think the emphasis is sixth house. Sorry, did I say sixth? I don't know. But the emphasis is on the fifth, and the fifth is all about creation, and it's all about expression, and it's all about, it can be romance, it can be children, it can be your projects, it can be your own company you're trying to establish. But it's a good time now with Mercury there. It's a good time to talk about your creative projects. It's a good time to talk with your children, maybe to tell them some fairy tales or something, or when they're a bit older, to talk with them on a very detailed level, because it's in Virgo, to talk about, you know, day-to-day stuff, or it can be just romance, but not just, it can be romance, and talking a lot with the one that you love, or the one you have an eye on, talking a lot with that person. That's good, because, you know, Mercury is communicating, and Virgo is already talking. So that's another energy that is really good. And also the sun is in there. So there's a beam on that fifth house, so we enjoy it. And then the last thing that is with the fast planet going on, is Mars in its own sign during almost the whole month of September. It's the whole month of September that Mars is in Scorpio. So every planet sometimes loves to be in a sign or doesn't love to be in a sign. Now Mars loves to be in Scorpio. And for you, actually, that is the other person, because that's your 7th house. So normally you would say that Mars in the 7th house can be sometimes maybe struggling with your loved one, or struggling with a colleague, or with a business partner, or with, you know, the one-to-one relationships that we struggle. But as it is in its own sign, it means it's strong. It means it can do a lot of good. So maybe by this opposition of that other person, you find out a lot about yourself, and you kind of sense it, and that is good. So always when Mars is in Scorpio for you, it's in that 7th house. In particular, when you have a Taurus ascendant, it's in your 7th house. So it's very much action with that other person. And if you tap into this positive energy, you can take good action with that other person. Maybe to do stuff together that is interesting for both of you. So that's when it considers the faster planets. Now, what about this dance I was talking about? Saturn and Neptune. Now, Saturn is, and I talked about that, I think in July or something. Saturn is at its very end of Libra. So it's making a closure in that sign of Libra. And Libra for you, of course, is your 6th house. So very briefly explained, Saturn has been there for more than 2 years. So you have done your stuff, and you have done the challenges when it considers the 6th house stuff. So the day-to-day routines, the work, maybe your health, or maybe small animals, but it can be on many different levels that you have done some kind, or you almost unto a closure. And because Saturn is going to shift next month to another sign, to Scorpio. So, but very important is that there's a dance going on with Neptune. And why is that? Because Neptune is at approximately 1 degree of Pisces. And there is something in ancient, very ancient astrology from long time ago. There's something about like Anticyon. And I'm not going to explain in detail what that is. It really means, or very briefly said, Anticyon is the, every force in the universe has its counter force. And it's an opposite sign, it's an opposite earth position. So it's kind of, that energy is its shadow, it's like a mirror, acting like a mirror. So at the moment, Saturn, there's almost like a conjunction of Saturn and Neptune. They are working together but hidden. So it is not on the surface. And actually, about that Anticyon, it's very easily calculated. When Saturn is at the very end of Libra. So when you have like Saturn is at 28 degrees of Libra, the whole sign is about 30 degrees. And how do you find the Anticyon of that 28 degree of Libra? You find it by taking 30 degrees minus 28 degrees. And then that's 2 degrees. And when Saturn goes transiting on 29 degrees of Libra, it is on 1 degree of Pisces, the Anticyon. That's how it works, very briefly. But the thing is, to summarize it very briefly, Neptune is, it's like a dance that they're making, Neptune and Saturn. And what does that mean? For you it's relevant concerning that 6th house. And what does it mean when Saturn means Neptune? It's always a challenging thing, but after that comes the enlightenment. And that will be for October, because in October those 2 planets, not in Anticyon, But those two planets are going to trine each other, Saturn and Neptune. So I'm going to talk about that more in October. But so in its anticyon, so during especially the last 2 weeks of September, there is this Neptune-Saturn energy that is conjuncting. They are working together, they like each other, they're working together. You can't see the one without the other. So Saturn is very easy. It's all about the real world. It's all about manifesting. So you have been trying to manifest good day-to-day routines, good health, and so on. And Neptune is all about fantasy. It's all about higher ideals. It's all about like parallel universes. So there are more options to take. It's not like this just one truth. There are more truths included. So Neptune, if you think that you have a clear view on your day-to-day routine, on your work, on your health, and so on the 6th house stuff, which is a very important house, because imagine when people get ill, you know, their whole, and seriously ill, their whole life changes. So yes, the 6th house is an important house. This doesn't mean to say that you're going to be ill. On the contrary, it means to say that you're going to do a lot of stuff to stay healthy. Or you have been doing a lot of stuff in this case to stay healthy. But Neptune is a bit confusive. And so this energy simply means that you think you got it and actually you haven't got it. You think you get it and actually you don't get it. But this enlightening will come, if you can call it a little enlightening, it will come next month. So if you're confused about something that I was just talking about, it's normal. Because in Antisya, those two energies are working together. And it's very difficult to conjunct these two opposing energies. But it's very, very interesting and very challenging, but very, very beautiful if you can do it. Actually, then a new world opens. That's all about this antisyon of Saturn and Neptune. And I hope this is a bit meaningful for you for the month of September. So I wish you all the best, you Taurus people out there. Thank you for all the comments and thank you for all the ordering of consultations, and see you next month during October. Bye bye, Taurus.